Hi and welcome to episode 11 of the This is Reportage podcast. My name is Alan Law, I'm the founder of TiR and I'm a wedding photographer too. And a happy new year everyone, happy new decade, can't believe it's 2020 already, madness. Today I'm really excited to be bringing you the brilliant Philippe Swiggers. Hailing from Belgium, winner of no less than 15 TiR Awards, he's fifth overall in terms of lifetime awards. Philip has so much to share, including the importance of getting someone to photograph his own family, being an introvert in the extrovert world of weddings, advice for people who have been shooting for some time but are not happy with their current work, his personal project on social workers, which became a book and exhibition, what he's awful at, his tips as a previous judge and winner of 5 Story Awards himself for submitting to our Story Awards, how you should never stop believing in your own images, and so much more. Hey Philip, how are you doing?
Hey Alan, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks. Yeah, really good. Thanks for joining all the way from Belgium. You're in, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in Belgium. I love to join this talk with you.
Oh, it's an honor to have you with us. It really is, man.
Oh, it's my honor.
Oh, and how's your wedding season been? Have you got many left?
I just have one left in December, and the rest was quite good. I had a good year. I had great couples, lovely weddings. Yeah, it was good.
That's cool. That's cool. How many kind of do you shoot a year?
I think mostly it's about. I think this year is about 18.
Oh, that's a
I
nice number.
yeah, and for me that's enough. I think I end up mostly like 18 or maybe 20, and that's okay. I don't have the ambition to shoot like 30 weddings or I think 20 is fine for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good number. I couldn't. Yeah, 30. Some photographers do 50, 60. Someone
Wow.
at Nine Dots I met does regularly over 100 a year.
Oh my God, it's not for me.
No, no.
Yeah, never done it, and no, I think I'm fine. Like 20, and that's good for me.
Yeah, I don't have the energy to shoot that amount. I think 100 would be a lot. But
No,
respect for him for doing that, which is
a
awesome as
lot
well.
of respect, a lot of respect. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think for me, like 20 is. I just need some. Sometimes I need some weeks off to refuel. I don't know
Mm,
my
yeah.
my brain or my mind to stay creative. I
And
think
what?
that's the most important reason. I think. Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And talking about quiet times, what do you do in the kind of the low season, like these winter months now? What do you do?
Our family, yeah. I love to spend time with my 2 kids and my wife. Um, I can enjoy just the little things, on Saturday having breakfast together instead of rushing out and going out for a wedding shoot. No, just Saturdays are awesome,
Uh,
and I try to do like my me time in the weekend right now. So I try to ride a bike when I can.
oh, cool.
Just relax and try to read a lot when I'm in when I have my off season to just refuel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so important, isn't it? And you mentioned your family there. You do your own family photography as well, don't you? But I read that I think every year you get someone else to photograph you and your family, so you're actually in the photos.
Yeah, I try to. I try to. I think the first time was my good friend Eve. Eve Schepers
Oh
shot
yeah.
my family, and ever since that moment, I decided to try to have a photographer over like every year to do a day in life. And I love it because I learned so much about having my own family photographer to have it shot. It's good to see how other people see stuff, and it's even more important to see what certain images mean to you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I noticed that the most important images for me are not like the most cool random shots or beautiful light or awesome composition, but the little moments that show who my family really is. So that's what I want to do in my photography too. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. And I guess just being in the photos as well is a big deal because yeah, I'm never in any of my family photos, I think. So
Oh, you should. You should.
And
You
you
have
used to.
family too. Yeah, you have family too.
Yes. So I've got. I didn't forget then. I just I couldn't talk. I've got a wife and two kids. Yeah, a boy and a
Ah,
girl. And we've never been photographed by someone else, so I should do that. I think
yeah, you should.
you should come over to the
Oh,
UK.
maybe. Yeah, I would love to. I would love to.
Well, you're very welcome anytime to come down.
Ah, okay.
Um, so you used to be a teacher, didn't you? I think.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
what was that? What you were doing just before getting into weddings? What was it like being a teacher?
Yeah, it was great. I've been a teacher for 15 years.
Wow.
Been a teacher in elementary school, just like kids from 6 to 12. And yeah, it was great. I love being a teacher. I still love being a teacher. But at a certain point, I got into photography again, and the combination of the two was too much,
Mm,
and I had to make a choice. And like obviously, the choice at that point was photography.
right.
Um, but yeah, I still love teaching, so I try to make a good combination of shooting weddings, shooting families, personal work, and some coachings or workshops that we give here in Belgium. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. And so how did you get to do your very first wedding? Can you take us back to how you got into it and your very first paid wedding?
I think I got into it like maybe everyone, like some people in the neighborhood that were looking for wedding photographer, and they just asked me, and I think I shot it for like peanuts. But I mainly got in the wedding industry by second shooting um, with
Okay.
another photographer, a famous photographer at that time, or wedding photographer at that time in Belgium. He doesn't
Cool.
shoot weddings anymore, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I learned a lot with shooting with him and seeing how he handled stuff, and yeah.
Cool. And did you shoot with just that one photographer, or did you shoot with many others, or was it mainly just that one?
No, just one. Because it was like every wedding. He only went out shooting weddings with two photographers, and I was his second photographer. And so I stopped shooting weddings with him when I got too much weddings of my own. So that's where it stopped. So he's working with somebody else now.
Ah, okay,
And
cool.
yeah, I never second shot any other weddings after that, I think.
Oh, well, you're too busy with your own weddings.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm telling this to myself every year. I'm going to second shoot a wedding with someone. But there's just no time. When I'm shooting 20 weddings, the free weekends I want to spend with the family and do other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. And for your very first wedding, then, when it was you were the lead shooter, how were you feeling then? Were you confident because you'd done all that second shooting, or were you nervous? How did it
Oh
go?
yeah, I'm always nervous. I don't remember that specific wedding, but I must have been extremely nervous. I still get nervous on every wedding.
Mm,
Not when I start shooting, but like the road to the wedding. Once I start my photography, it's fine. But I think before I get into the room. I'm always nervous. I'm doing this for like 12 years right now, and I'm
right.
still a little bit nervous for every wedding. So,
I
um,
totally relate to that. I'm still nervous. I still, on the way to every wedding, I always have to stop and have a little nervous wee, like always.
ah, I don't st I don't stop, but I'm nervous. And then just when the door opens and the dad, mostly the dad of the bride, opens the door and it's gone, But
Yeah.
it's just the road there. Yeah.
Do you get nervous when you talk as well at conferences and things and workshops?
Well, I think it depends. I was really nervous the first time I talked at a conference. I think it was the master's conference or seminar last year.
Right.
Oh yeah, I was really extremely nervous because I don't know why. Yeah, probably because I doubted myself, or I don't know. But
Mm.
once I'm on the stage, I feel quite comfortable actually. Um, yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's very cool. And I think you've spoken about being an introvert, haven't you, in such an extrovert world that is weddings.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, well, it's kind of strange because like I turned 40 this last year, and um, it like it's really strange. I just found out at this age that I'm an introvert. I was like a shock. I actually didn't realize it, but I realized it in a session I had with Susanna Barbera.
Oh
She's
yeah.
awesome, by the way. She helped me with my talk, and it was awesome. And after our first session, we found out actually that I'm an introvert, but that I'm actually so good in hiding this introvert. Um, I just learned throughout the years to hide this introvert guy because, yeah, we live in an extrovert world. We have to be social. People
Mm.
expect us to party along, to talk to people, and I think I did a good job in hiding it. And I just realized that hey man, I'm kind of an introvert. I don't I need some time to be on my own and not talk to people. And
Mm.
yeah,
And it's
it
strange
opened
though,
up
isn't
my
it?
eyes.
Because weddings are such a kind of you need to be kind of well, you feel pressure, I think, maybe to be a bit more extroverted at a wedding. It's very, people around partying and it's quite full on. So yeah,
Yeah.
how do you find it being an introvert? How do you kind of cope with that?
I think for me, it's extremely important to make a good connection with my couple before the wedding.
Right.
Um, I need to gain their trust. I need to talk to them. I'm meeting them like 2 times at least before their wedding,
Oh, okay, cool.
because they're like for me, the introvert is getting less introvert when I'm feeling okay with people. When the hardest part is the first contact. When I arrive, for example, at conferences, it's like, oh my God,
Mm.
talking to new people is hard for me.
Yeah.
So I make sure I know my couples before, and for the rest of the day, I try to be just myself. But the introvert helps me too. I don't like to be in the middle of or the center of the attention. I
Mm.
try to document the wedding the way I see it. Not I don't talk a lot to people. I just make them feel comfortable in my way, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. And people have different approaches, don't they? And I'm like you, when I get to a wedding, I'm friendly and say hello, but then I virtually start no conversations. Me personally, I'm
Mhm.
just very quiet and I just want people to ignore me. But there are other photographers who like the banter and chat with everyone. It's different for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's different for everyone, and that's a good thing. You just
Mm.
have to be yourself, and for me, it's just the most important thing is making feel people at ease. And I don't think you have to talk a lot to make people feel okay, or make people feel okay with the camera. You can do it in another way.
Yeah.
But
No,
that's for everyone, of course. I think like people who are extremely extrovert are they have a lot of advantages, and we have them, or I have them, like as an introvert too. So yeah.
yeah, it's all good, isn't it? But the world's big enough for both types of verts. It's
Yeah.
all good. Okay, cool. Let's change tack slightly. So, I'd like you to. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I ask what makes you happy?
I think that's easy. I think the first thing that makes me happy is when I think about my kids, my
Oh,
son and my daughter. When I the little moments in the morning when they wake up, and I go to them to hug them or to cuddle them and to wake them up, or the same thing in the evening when they go to sleep, and we have this little hug before they go to sleep, like little things.
oh man.
It's so great. My Dora, she's saying the same thing every night when she goes to bed, and so it's so cute. She's saying, "I love you to the moon and back for
Oh,
forever." Yeah, but then in Flemish, But it's awesome. I recorded it, so
oh,
I recorded it once. So when she gets married, I'm gonna play it on our wedding or something. I don't know.
oh, that's very cute.
It's really cute. It's little moments that make me really happy. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely, man. Do you think, because I've got a daughter as well, do you think when you're shooting weddings, do you think about the future and maybe your own daughter's wedding?
Oh, my own daughter's wedding. I no, I try not to think about that yet.
Yeah, it's a long way off.
She's no, she's only 7, so I hope to keep her a little bit small as long as I can.
Yeah.
Um, no, not I'm not thinking about their wedding. I'm thinking about their future though, but not like specifically their wedding. I don't want to put up like certain expectations. So, what if they don't get married? They don't want to get married. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, my daughter's 7 as well, so same
Oh,
age. It's
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Great age. Great age.
yeah, it is, isn't it? Super cute, super cute.
Yeah.
But it's funny, isn't it? When if they get married, there's going to be quite a lot of pressure on us for a good speech because we've seen a lot of speeches in our time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good. I'm gonna think about that one.
You've got a lot of time to prepare.
About the speech on my daughter's wedding. Yeah, I got some time to prepare. So yeah. Uh, no, I'm not thinking about that yet.
No, cool. Long way off. Long way off. Cool.
Yeah.
What does it mean to be successful for you?
Um, I think success for me, it's a hard one because I thought about that many times. I think success is about balance. I think balance in three important things. It's not like work-life balance. It's more like when you get these three things and in the right order and in balance. I think that means you're you're a successful person. And for me, these three things are like your business, of course. When you have a good business that you love, like your work, you love to go to your work and you enjoy spending time at your work, like I do, and you make a good living out of that to support your family. That's the first thing, and I think second thing is a good finding a good balance in doing that work together with your family life. Like for me, it means doing 20 weddings, and the rest of the weekends are family time.
Mm,
And the third thing is like me time. I need some time for myself, to just spend time for me, to be on my
yeah.
bike or just to do stuff just for me. I think, yeah, balancing those three things means success for me, I think. Yeah.
That's great. I think that's a brilliant answer, man. Totally agree. It's great.
Ah, yeah. Thank you.
And if you had 24 hours totally to yourself and money was no object, what would you do in that 24 hours?
Oh man, that's a hard one. I think again, family would be important. I think, I think spending the best time with my family in those 24 hours. I think, the first thing that pops up for me is like take my kids, take the car, drive to Paris and go to Disney World or something,
Oh, yeah.
something like that. I don't know, and just be together. Um,
That sounds lovely, man. That's really nice. That is
yeah,
really
I never
nice.
been there, and we've been thinking about going there. I don't know if it's worth it, but yeah, I think the kids would love it. So yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've never been as well, and my daughter
Oh,
would absolutely love it. How have you got? So you've got one daughter and what else have you
and
got?
one son, and one son.
Oh,
He's
same as
9.
me. Oh, he's 9.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So my son's 5 or almost 5. Oh,
Uh,
cool. Yeah, they'd love Disneyland. Yeah, you should go. Do it.
yeah. Yeah. So we'll do it.
It would be. I guess it's quite easy for you to get to Paris as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it would be like 2 hour, 3 hour drive or something. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, easy.
Or
Do it. Have you?
probably take the train or something would be easier. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think from England you can get like a specific kind of Disney Eurotunnel, which is all Disney
Oh
themed and
yeah,
stuff. That'd
yeah,
be.
probably.
So let's get back to photography. What advice would you give for photographers who've maybe been shooting for, a few years, maybe 4 or 5 years, and they don't feel like their career is advancing the way they want it to? Maybe they feel a bit stagnated, a bit bored of their own work. Do you have any kind of advice for those kind of people?
I think what I told you before about second shooting. I think
Right.
second shooting is always a great idea when you're stuck. You can just shoot for free, and with a free mind, and just do whatever you want. And you can learn from someone who is shooting that wedding actually as a first shooter. And mainly, I think when you're stuck and you're already in the business for a few years, I think doing some personal work is always a good idea.
Just mention your personal work there. You've done a big project on social workers, haven't you? I think, which you published a book about. And you have an
Yeah.
exhibition as well, I think. Can you tell us about that? How that came to happen?
Yeah, I wanted to do some personal work for years, but like many people, I didn't know what, so I just didn't do it.
Yeah.
But there was some guy who came up to me and he asked me to document social workers in Belgium. So I said, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I started it, but I didn't know actually myself what social workers did. So
Mhm.
actually, it meant that I had to document people who actually didn't want to be documented,
Oh
like
wow.
like homeless people or people who are involved with drugs, or or young people who have problems with their parents. I don't know, many things. People who are sick or dementia or stuff like that. And
Wow. Massive
oh man,
range.
I learned so much, and it was hard. It wasn't easy because I most of the time I thought my images were like really bad. I could, but that I didn't care about it because I a big thing for me was that I couldn't post it on social media.
Right.
And I think that that is really important because today I think we shoot too much about or how we think we should shoot because other people are going to like it or not going to like it. And that was a big eye opener for me. I just shot it for myself, just how I felt. And it was an eye opener. I was not nervous to shoot that project because it was okay. When I did a bad job in my eyes, or in my point of view, I just went back another day and tried again. Uh,
Right.
and I
Wow.
worked really hard to make the best out of it.
Was it a lot of days of shooting then for that?
Yeah, there were a lot of social workers who contacted me that I could follow them for one day. So I had to drive around Belgium, and I tried to follow them like for several hours a day, like for 4 or 5 hours. And sometimes it was really interesting, but sometimes there was like nothing really to see or to shoot. So that was the hard part.
Right. And
But but yeah.
was it quite upsetting at times? It must have been quite hard, I would have thought.
It was hard in a way that I had to gain trust every time again.
Right. Yeah.
I had a contact with the social workers. I connected with them before, but once I got in the situations like with, for example, homeless, I I had to connect with these people too on the spot, not before. And I had to talk to them like maybe for an hour before I ask them, hey, is it okay to take some pictures? So I had to work hard so they trusted me. Um,
Right, yeah. That's a big
yeah,
deal. And maybe with being an introvert as well, that would be even scarier for me, I think.
yeah. Well, I think it's the first contact, like I said before, and the first contact was mostly made by the social worker.
Right.
So I was there. They introduced me. I came along and I listened to their story. And after the introduction was made, I asked them if it was okay to shoot. So yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. Do you know of any of your subjects who have seen the images, seen the book? Have you had any feedback from that?
Yeah. A lot of them have seen the pictures, and mostly they love it, especially the social workers, because the thing was the social workers are really like they want to protect they call it their clients,
Right.
because they don't want them to be misused or something, or they were afraid that pictures are going to appear on social media and stuff. But
Mm.
the only place where they are shown right now is in the book that is published and in the exhibition. So a lot of people, a lot of social workers that I shot were at the opening at the of the exposition last year,
Okay.
and they loved it, seeing it how they. I think the things I heard hear the most is that they love the integrity of their work.
That's cool.
Um, yeah.
No, that's great, man. That's awesome. And what was it like seeing your work in an exhibition like that? That must have been pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's so awesome because that's the thing we don't have a lot in wedding photography. We don't see our images printed enough. I
Mm.
think when you see your images on your screen, you've seen it like 10 times again, and you edit it and you edit it again, and you work hard to get the best out of it, and then you put it away. You put it somewhere in the cloud. But what happens in this thing is that you have it printed, you go to the lab and you see it for the first time, like uh, at 1 meter at 90 centimeters or something. And yeah, it's awesome to see this work on the wall. Like in the end of the project, I was tired of looking at my images. You have the same thing
Yeah.
when looking at your same wedding pictures again. In the end, you don't really love them anymore, or you've seen them too much. But
Mm.
every time I see them again on a big wall, it's hot. Yeah, it's like a kick. It's adrenaline. It's
Yeah, I bet it's cool. I've thought about for a while now. I'd like to do an exhibition of this is reportage images, and have an exhibition that is about the skill and artistry of documentary wedding photography. I think that would be great.
Yeah, you should.
Mm.
I
I would
think
like,
I think it would be good to educate our clients even more about how important real moments and real situations are. Yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
do it.
What effect doing that personal project? Do you think it's had an effect on your wedding work?
Yeah, definitely. I think before my personal work, I just thought about other people too much, about what other people or photographers thought about my work. It made me insecure about what should I post on social media. Is this
Mm.
okay? Is this good enough? And doing this personal work made me realize that I don't have to care about what other people think. I don't know why, or I don't know. It was liberating in some kind of way. Yeah.
That's cool.
Um, yeah.
No, that's cool, man. Awesome. Changing tack again slightly.
Okay.
Can you tell me something that you're really, really bad at?
Oh, where I'm awful at. Hmm, I'm awful at huh. I'm awful at talking.
No, you're not. You're great.
No, I think I'm awful in like again, like the first contact with people. That's really something that I have to work on. Sometimes I'm so into myself that I cross people on the street and I don't say hello because I'm just in my in my introvert zone.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not that I don't want to say anything. It's just that I'm there, but I'm not there. I'm just doing stuff in my mind and thinking about
Mm.
stuff, and people can just cross me, and that sometimes I just didn't even see them. Yeah, that's I'm awful at that, I think.
But I mean,
Yeah.
but we spoke just before starting this podcast, and you were very natural. We've never spoken or met before. I think you were very natural and just really easy to talk to, man.
Yeah, I try to, but it's again, I get really insecure in first contact. When I would see you for the first time, I don't know, when I would come to Nine Dots or something, it would be really hard for me, even after we spoke right now, to come up to you and say, "Hey, Alan, how are you?" It's just
Oh, really?
I need people to step up to me
Right.
and
Yeah.
say, "Hey, Philip, how are you?" And then okay, then it's okay. Feels true.
I get that. No, I get that
I
as well.
I
Those
have that.
social anxieties.
Yeah.
Um, you very kindly wrote a piece about us, about when you judged for us and your thoughts and tips and submitting to the awards. And there's super advice in there. I urge everyone to read it. I'll include a link to it in the post on the site. And one of the parts you wrote about was about our story awards. And you've won an amazing, like 5 story awards yourself, which is awesome. Um, could you talk a little bit here about the stories in particular and your tips for people, wanting to enter and maybe win a story award?
Yeah, maybe. I got this question from somebody else last week too. So for me, I think story awards are really important because I try to. I don't, I used to shoot for awards, but I don't shoot for awards anymore
Mm,
because that like. But I try to shoot as good as I can for my couple,
yeah.
and shooting as good as I can for my couple means that I deliver them. First thing that I deliver is a slideshow, and the story just needs to be right. The first picture needs to be right. The last picture needs to be a good picture, And I try to, on the actual day, on a wedding day, to think about story, to think about what needs this story as a first picture, what needs this story like maybe as a last picture. And the most important things for me in a story are the in between moments.
Right.
All the weddings have the same important key moments like the rings or the kiss or everything, what comes along with a wedding.
Mm,
But I think the most important thing, what actually defines one certain wedding, is the in between moments, the people there, and the in between moments. Things that happen on that actual wedding that don't happen on another wedding. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, and I think that's important. I try to think as much as I can in story, that when I get home and I make my slideshow, that I don't miss a single thing in my story, because when I miss something, that sets me up. Damn, I have to think about that next time. That's what I do every time when I see my slideshow. That's my product that I deliver to my clients. I try to look at it and see, okay, am I missing anything? Next time I'm gonna do this or this. Right? That's how I look at stories.
And when you were judging for us, was there anything specific about certain stories that really kind of put you off and made you not vote for them?
Um, no, not really. For me, it's the same. It's not the same as judging single pictures, but in stories you have to, when I'm judging a contest, I'm judging with my feeling, with my gut. The
Right.
first
Okay.
thing has to be something. I have to feel something. That can be like something funny or something or emotional or oh or wow or something like that. I have to feel something, and then when I feel something, the next thing is what I do is I go and see if the light and the composition and everything is okay to make this picture like award worthy. Um, but in a story, that's the same thing. When you look at a story of like 15 or 20 images, I need my wows or ohs or my emotional moments in that story. When you put all the strong only the emotional stuff, like only in the last 3 pictures, I think you should keep it more like, I don't know, you know what I mean? You have to look at the story and feel the story when you're looking at it.
Totally. Yeah. And you touched upon there as well how it is subjective. And one of my favorite bits of your advice was talking about how subjective obviously photography is and judging is, and that if you love your images, you need to resubmit them again because you don't know, what's going to appeal to either any judges. And I think that's really great advice.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Never stop believing in your own images, because that's what we see, or what I see, even too much in contests, is too much of the same stuff, you know.
Mhm.
You put you in it, you know, your identity, and if you believe in an image, just submit it and submit it again, even for like 10 times. I don't care. Just that's the awards that um, mean the most to me are the pictures that I like the most. You know, sometimes you win an
Mm.
award with an image that you say, okay, this is an okay, but
Yeah.
images that you love the most, when you win an award with those, it gives you an awesome feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's cool. Cool. Awesome. Let's change tack again slightly again. Have you ever met or photographed anyone famous?
Um, Anyone famous? Yeah, actually, yeah. I, as a second shooter on the wedding of this guy where I started out, I shot the wedding of Steven Defour, the
Ooh,
football player, soccer
oh,
player.
oh, really? Oh, okay, I'm not too much into my football, but oh, that's
Ah,
cool.
he played in England. He played with Burnley, actually.
Oh, okay,
He's
cool.
back in Belgium again, but yeah, yeah. And it was one of my first weddings, and it was kind of he. It was kind of funny because I had to shoot him in getting ready because like the first shooter does the bride, and I
Mhm.
had to go there. I was extremely nervous because one of my first weddings, and I had to do this one,
Oh, that
and
is
they
scary.
had a game the day before with the national team, so and they lost big time. So
Oh no.
I, yeah, and I was on the door, and he opened up in his football short, and yeah, he was a nice guy. We had a good time. He was looking at. I think he was even watching. He was watching an episode of Columbo. I still
Oh,
remember. It's
really?
so
Wow.
funny. Yeah.
One more
Yeah.
thing.
Well, yeah.
That's funny. Oh, cool. You're part of the Mind the Moment collective, aren't you, with three other photographers?
Yeah. We are with four. Yeah.
Cool. Can you tell us more about that? How did that come about and what you do?
Well, yeah, we wanted to organize our workshops together with Dries Ringleen Nelawati and Yves Schepers, and we started a collective.
I love the way you say their names, by the way. I could never say their names like that. It's so cool.
I try to make a mix of Flemish, English,
That was great.
but
Sorry. Yeah, carry on.
um,
It's cool.
yeah, no, we have a collective, and I think we at this point we give workshops gave workshops for about I think 120 people right now.
Oh wow.
Mostly,
Cool.
no, all of them are Belgian or Dutch, and we're starting to have a good community with people that share a lot of information with each other. A lot of people start shooting together. It's great to see because that's the good thing about teaching and doing stuff like that. What we have, I think that's our strength. We don't do it just to earn money. Of course, we earn some money with it, but we do it because we love it. We love to inspire people, and we sometimes we talk to each other and we say, "Hey, have you seen this guy? He's become so good." And it's not because we told stuff, but it gives us a great feeling, to see
Mm,
people evolve and grow. And yeah,
oh,
yeah,
that's
it's a good
cool.
thing.
And I
Yeah.
can tell from talking to you and meeting Eve as well, the passion that you have for it. And I guess it's come on from your teaching background as well. Must be handy for doing your own workshops and the
Yeah, I
collective.
guess so. I guess so. Yeah, that helps. Obviously, it's not actually it's not that much the same as that's different as teaching children. I
Oh,
think
really? Yeah.
no, the biggest part in teaching for me has always been, especially with kids, was when they love to come to school. A lot of kids don't like to come to school,
Mm,
but when they love to come to you as a teacher, you have already like won for 80% of what you want to teach, because when they feel good and when they start their day and they want to come to school and say, "Oh, we're going to school. We love our teacher."
you know,
You have you have them, and it's the same thing with teaching photographers. When you just do it for the money, it won't work. It just won't work. When you're doing it with passion, and when you give your people the feeling that you actually care about making them better, it's always gonna work. It's exactly the same. So that's what we're doing, and that's what we are doing like naturally. It's not because we have to, because we want to. Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's awesome. That is awesome. I think I've got time just for one more question. So other than photographic skill, what skills or attributes do you think wedding photographers should have?
Um, Photography skills for me is like 20%,
Mm.
and the rest is all what's inside of you. I think what's inside of or between those ears. What's holding you back to get close, for example? Is it because you're insecure, or is it because you're an introvert, or,
Yeah.
or is it I think a lot of the most part of the is your personality,
Mm.
and the hardest part to work on that is to don't look at other people. Just try to look at yourself and try to create your own identity in your photography. And that's hard because a lot of people like myself didn't know um, who I am or who I was like, and that's a hard thing. So
Mm.
I think the most important thing is in between your ears. I think, yeah, your mind, and keep your mind fresh and creative, and to just do your own stuff. Um, yeah,
Yeah. I
people
think
skill.
that's huge, isn't it? That really is. Do you not look at kind of any other wedding photographers' work now, or
No,
did you? No.
no, I stopped because I'm too. I get too um, too quickly influenced by other people.
Right.
It's just who I am. So I'm on Instagram. I try to look at or spend time for my own business on Instagram, but I don't look at other wedding photographers. I just don't do it.
Yeah.
Maybe after 10 or 12 years, I'm kind of tired of looking at wedding pictures. Maybe that's
Yeah.
that's the thing too. But I try not to, I try to just do my own thing. What I do is look at, I look at documentary photography, photographers, I don't know, but not exactly to inspire me. Just I try to just to be myself and let the inspiration come from my experiences or from inside.
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's awesome. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Oh man, Philip, honestly, that was so cool. Thanks so much for that. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
That was so good, so interesting. Loads of great bits of information. I'll include lots of your great images in the post and a link to the article you wrote for us about judging as well. A link to your book as well and your personal project.
Oh,
And
great.
yeah, man, honestly, thank you so much. That was fantastic.
Oh, thank you, Alan. It was great talking to you.
And hopefully I'll get to meet you in the flesh sometime.
Yeah, yeah, we should. We
But
should.
definitely come
Very
up to me
soon.
and say hello.
Yeah, we'll try.
Awesome, man. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the 11th episode of our This is Reportage podcast and the first of 2020. It was fab speaking to Philip. Hope you enjoyed listening too. You can visit thisisreportage.com to find a link to the piece he wrote about judging for us, as well as links to his personal project on social workers and the Mind the Moment collective. If you did enjoy it, you can subscribe to our show on iTunes to be notified when each new weekly episode is ready, bringing you advice, tips and backstories from some of the world's best photographers each week. And if you're not already a member of TiR, check out all the benefits of joining us. We're all about promoting the skill and artistry of documentary wedding photography, and members receive lots of benefits, including 60 Reportage Award entries and 18 Story Award entries per year, an unlimited number of images shown on your profile, exclusive discounts on wedding photography related products, invites to our physical meetups and parties, and much more. Collection 13 is open for entries now. Deadline is January 24th, 2020, and this will be the first of our 6 collections for the year. So if you're interested in possibly making our top 100 photographer list for 2020, now is a great time to join and start entering. No poses, nothing staged. This is Reportage. And this is bye for now.